Hey everyone, and welcome to PGN Live. Gale Network here, and wow, what a week so far! What a morning so far for video game news and all things cool in this wonderful industry, you know? We've got Resident Evil to talk about, Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment, 7 days away, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, 5 weeks to go. Huge video game sales data coming to us straight out of Japan. Brand new Banjo-Kazooie statue. Plenty. Oh, I'm so excited. There's always fun stuff to talk about. In this community, whenever we get going, we have a good time. These live streams are great. However, it's definitely different when there's a lot to talk about because then everybody is hyped. Somebody has something to say. Somebody has something that they're excited about. You know, not every stream is there something for everyone that they're like truly ecstatic over, right? They're happy to be here, happy to talk to fellow friends, make new friends, enjoy the good vibes and stuff like that. But, not necessarily, oh, this topic is for me. I'm a big fan of blank, right? But it's always good when we get that. This is one of those days where I'm feeling like, gosh, what do you like? Do you like video game sales? We've got that today. Do you like Animal Crossing? We've got that today. Resident Evil? You want a new Pro Controller? You want a new Amiibo? You want some collector's editions of stuff? We've got that. Are you excited for Zelda? That's coming up. Metroid? That's coming up. Like, there's a lot, right? My pop-out chat just disappeared. Let me grab that thing back. There we go. I see some comments already here. Thank you all for being here and giving me a moment. Oh, I'm pumped. I like it when we have a variety in our day. And this is definitely that. So let's see who is already here. Kong Donk K. No, sorry, not K, just Kong Donk. I thought there was another K. That's just because the last one is uppercase. Kong Donk is here. Welcome. Yvonne Francois. Hello. Kong Donk says, so many games. Absolutely. So many games. So much cool stuff. Oh my gosh. Brian C. Yo, what's up? Jack F123 says hi. Hi there. Brian C. So hyped for AC. We'll get to play it a lot with the wife too. Absolutely. I did a reaction this morning to the full 12-minute presentation, or video I should say, from Nintendo. And one of the things I mentioned in it was like, yeah, when that game came out, for the first couple of years, in particular, really, the first few months, my wife and I played it a lot. Oh, my daughter and son too. Like, the four of us would play that game a lot. After the first few months, still for the first couple of years, it got played quite a bit. And then nowadays, once in a while, we pick it up, but like, sparingly. This is a big enough reason to like hop back in. You've got Lego in there. You've got Zelda and Splatoon. Nintendo Switch 2 camera support, microphone, megaphone. Like, dude, it's so cool. There's a lot. So I'm excited for you and your wife to enjoy it. I don't know if you were married 5 years ago, but if you weren't, like, yeah, this is going to be like a new experience for you too, sort of, Awesome, though. Kong Donk saying, Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment hype. Yeah, absolutely. 1 week. 1 week is nothing. 7 days is going to fly by. And if you need a little bit of help, You watch my shorts on the daily, and then that helps you get there. you know, the Horizons are back in town, says Dank Meme Center X. That's right, Brian C. That RE triple pack is insane. Was shocked it was priced that low, right? I think $90. We're gonna talk about that because that's a great deal. Then you're talking about like $70 for a brand new Resident Evil title, RE9 Requiem, and then you could value the other two at $10 each. That's not bad, and it's in like a set. Yes, they all three are game key cards, but at least you're getting something cool in terms of like the collection on the box end of it, right? Not bad, not bad. Sound the alarm. Ari is getting Amiibo as well. This is Nintendo Week, baby! This is Nintendo Week, and this is just after like last week being Nintendo Week with Star Wars getting a demo, the announcement of Assassin's Creed coming to Nintendo Switch 2, Fallout, like last week was considerable, and now we're getting just that much more. Last week we said they could have made all of this a Nintendo Direct Mini, and that would have sufficed, right? Luigi's Mansion dropping, boom, NSO next week. Now we have Luigi's Mansion out. We've gotten that awesome new couple of minute long Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment video. The demo is now in stores. People are playing it at Best Buys, Targets, and such. Super cool, dude. We're cooking. We're eating. Brian C. saying, do you know if it will be hard to get, or do you think it will be stocked basically the same as the normal game? Good question. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a little bit tougher to get, but not if you pre-order. If you go to GameStop, probably put $5 down. I think you're going to be all right. That's probably the best and safest way to go. GameStop, Best Buy, or wherever. Just pre-order it for the heck of it. Otherwise, I don't think it'll be super difficult, but since it is something more than just a case, I don't believe it will have as great of quantity of boxes out there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm actually excited for this new Fortnite season. Yeah, that's another thing. Releasing on Saturday, it completely changes the map to Simpsons Springfield. First time I've really been excited to play Fortnite. I think you're going to have a good time. Fortnite is actually a lot of fun. I don't understand the hate or the fear that people have when it comes to allowing themselves to like the game. Not saying this is you, but just in general, I see this consensus from a certain group of people of like, oh, Fortnite, oh no, I like, dude, have you played it? Fortnite's fun. It's really good. It's good quality. Some people are like afraid to like it. Why? Don't be afraid to like any game. Like I said, not that saying that that's you. Maybe you just weren't interested in the last few years for whatever reason, and that's okay. But the fact that you're interested now, you're gonna experience it, and then you will see, oh snap, this game runs pretty well. There's a lot of characters. There's a lot of skins. There's a pretty good gameplay loop. It's fun. It's impressive having 100 people on a map at once. It's pretty engaging. 2-player. Oh, that's fun. 4-player squads. Oh, versus modes. Oh, there's a lot of free content in this free game. You're going to have a good time. And the Simpsons edition, Springfield, looks pretty sweet. And we're getting Resident Evil in Fortnite. And you get a character unlock by pre-ordering this. Like, oh my gosh, we got so much stuff to talk about. I like beefy PGN lives, but today I don't know how long I can be on for because today I'm carving my annual video game themed jack-o'-lantern. Every year I've done this since 1998, so this is like my 28th consecutive video game themed pumpkin. So I've got that today. I've got some shorts that I've got to do today. But we'll have a good PGN live. We'll cover all the bases, you know. Brandon White says hi. Mario Master, hey Paul, hey there. Kong Donk, congratulations on your channel growth up to 6,500. Yeah, growing a little bit every day. It's pretty sweet to see, you know. It's pretty sweet to see. I really appreciate all of your support watching the shorts. You know, every time you hit that like button on a short, it adds a little bloop to the radar effect. Makes that ripple in the water a little bit bigger. So then more people see, well, what's being liked on YouTube? And then it gets kind of recommended to their algorithm. Every time you leave a comment, I imagine that's doing a little something where it's igniting a sense of conversation. You know, watching the video in its entirety, like, it's not that hard to do with the shorts, you know, but like all that stuff helps out. You know, once in a while I get a super chat on a short or on a video. Those little things help. Being here in the live streams, you know, whether you share a link or not, whether you donate or not, just being here, all of it is helping. So thank you all for, you know, helping this channel grow. We're at like 6,542 or something like that. Dang. Here I remember when we hit 5,000. On July 29th-ish. And we had that stream celebrating on July 2nd. Right in advance of my birthday too. And to hit 6. To hit 65 now. To possibly hit 7 by Metroid Prime Beyond's release date? What? Wow, maybe. So thank you. J Biggs, Mr. NY for Life says, what's up everyone in the Galeverse? Not interested in the Animal Crossing info this morning, but I was happy to see Luigi's Mansion last night in my NSO. Also excited about the Resident Evil price for all three. Yeah, you know, and that's what I was talking about earlier. Sometimes we have a PGN live, and if the news is a little bit scarce, or there's just like one thing to talk about, maybe you're excited to be here because we have a friendly vibe and there's a positive community of familiar faces to talk to and hopefully to listen to, right? Doing a good job on that end. But when we have so many different things to talk about, like you might not be interested in Animal Crossing, but you're excited about that NSO Luigi thing, you're excited about Resident Evil, and that just makes for a more fun thing because there's something for everyone. I didn't expect Animal Crossing to have a Switch 2 edition. Nintendo's always surprising us, always cooking behind the scenes. All I need is Halo, Gears of War, and Doom Dark Ages Switch official confirmation. Boy, the moment that Halo campaign Evolved gets shown off for Nintendo Switch 2 is going to be a big one, because then Nintendo will have, for a long time, it's already had Sonic. For a long time, it's already had Crash Bandicoot. Even though Crash wasn't an official PlayStation mascot, it sure was very, heavily perceived to be. And then Nintendo will get Halo. Like, wow, you've got everyone's former exclusives, The cheapest Switch 2 edition to claim, baby. Yeah. RE pack for $90 is a deal. Gonna definitely pre-order it next week once I get paid. Yes. Morning, folks. Anyone else excited to play Zelda Crossing Horizons? Oh my gosh, did you see the Zelda beauty that you get to put into your island? Long time ago, I thought, gosh, please, Nintendo, just drop like a Mario pack, a Zelda pack, explode with franchises to really push what you could do. And we've had things, and you could make your own costumes and download your own Princess Zelda outfit from Frozen, Mario and Luigi, X-Men, whatever, right? But the amount of content they're giving here, Splatoon, Lego, Zelda, all of it, dude, off the hook. So I can run around Springfield as Peter Griffin. Are you telling me that? Yes, I am. Zelda stuff looked amazing. Just sad it's tied to Amiibo. Hey, Amiibo have been around for almost 11 years. chances are a good portion of the Nintendo Switch 2 audience has some amiibo at this point, or could get into it without feeling like they have to, borrowing one from a friend, buying something used. You never want to feel like, I have to get this thing that I don't want in order to unlock something. It's easier if you're already someone who's like, dude, I love having this beautiful stuff on display, and whether it serves any purpose in a game or not, I just like to look at it. Then it's really like we're enjoying it, we're having a good time. And if it's unlocked that way, cool, I already like it for what it is. But yeah, I know what you mean. Like if you don't have any amiibo whatsoever, then you feel like I have to buy it. And there are some other ways, borrowing one from a friend, for instance. Yeah, buying a used one, but still, I do understand. Yeah. Oh, let's see. Carve it on stream. That would be pretty neat. I would not be able to do it here. Too messy. Having it in my lap and stuff like that. Not the best setup. I'll definitely put up a video. I could probably be pretty engaging with the audience still talking, but it would probably be an iPhone stream, carving it in the kitchen, which is where I normally do it, And it could work, but I don't know if that'll happen. But definitely a video, some photos and stuff like that. They could have done a Direct Mini, or actually make the September Direct be the definitive longest presentation of theirs, but spacing the reveals allow them to have the single spot of time. They had an hour-long Animal Crossing presentation last week, and a whole bunch of other little things always being in the news, feeding people's timelines with Nintendo. Why are so many people watching this, liking this, etc., right? Excellent. But yeah, Nintendo is playing with power all week long, says Tony Kaname-kuran. Yeah. Heck, even Nintendo was releasing the Resident Evil NS2 Pro Controller. Yup! Dude. Being able to sit on Big Man is not enough. Give me more, Nintendo. Have you the new Futurama hit and run game that's made by a group of modders? It's really impressive. The demo released recently. No, I have not seen it. No, I haven't. Next year I'm buying the Resident Evil NS2 Pro Controller. Very cool. Of course, I'm counting down the days to Age of Imprisonment. Working and lurking. Cool. The Pro Controller is the weak aspect from RE News. Not having color to it feels wrong with the gritty nature. So that's a skip for me. It would be nice if it had more to it, but cool that it is existing. And Sketches of Harmony with the £2. Big day. Amazing AC content. And most of it free. Heck yeah. First of all, big thank you. Sketches of Harmony with the 2. I could readjust that later. I know it's not dollars. It's pounds right there. But we'll mark it as dollars in the time being. Big thank you for that awesome $2 super chat. And you said it. The fact that most of this Animal Crossing New Horizons content is free is tremendous, because there are so many people that have the game that it's just going to fit so well. There are still people who play the game regularly, right? Of like the 46 million that own it, there are still some regular players. But a good, overwhelmingly vast majority, I would say, portion of the audience, of the owners, are not playing consistently. This isn't going to bring everyone back, but it's going to bring a significant amount of people back, including some brand new folks that have a Nintendo Switch 2 that didn't own the game on NS or didn't have an NS that are now a part of this reignited community, that maybe it has some Zelda or Splatoon or Lego in it that's for them, that the original Animal Crossing didn't pique their interest. And we're going to see some good sales, and this is going to tide things over for the AC folks until an eventual sequel. I could see this lasting a couple of years, but on the safer side, I would say if Nintendo released a brand new Animal Crossing game like 14 months later, March of 2027, that would be pretty fitting, you know? Maybe that's the plan. We'll see. That makes me think Switch game will have Switch 2 edition. I mean, there will be more Nintendo Switch 2 editions beyond Animal Crossing, you know? Just going to stop once I am doing what I'm doing. I woke up this morning and I was still groggy. That's when I saw that Nintendo updated Animal Crossing. I got up from my bed so fast I was dizzy. Yeah, like that's some cool news. That's a big update. And also, Tsukino Ame says, "Hi everyone." Hi there. I think they're all cool. I just waste all my money on the actual game. 35 days until Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. You know what? Johan S., you were correct. Let's watch. October 30th, 35 days until the release of Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. One of the things some of you might not realize, if you've never played a Metroid game before, is the treat that your ears are going to get when playing the game. Because Metroid games have such good soundtracks. The sound effects and stuff like that, yeah, they're always really crisp and cool too. Very spacey, very neat, very organic at the same time. But the soundtracks, the music, they hit really hard. So far, in this countdown series that I've started, last week, I've been playing music from Metroid Prime. Each video has a little bit, well, not a little bit, a different song. And that banger right there is just one of many from Metroid Prime 1. I'm expecting Metroid Prime 4 Beyond to have even more banger pieces of music in it. If you haven't already, by the way, open up a side page or something like that. I'd appreciate it. There's the link for the short that we just watched. If you don't mind watching it, hitting that like button, dropping a comment or something like that, I'd appreciate it. Let's get some hype up for this game coming out in just 5 more weeks. This is my most anticipated game of the year. From the get-go, it topped, for me, Grand Theft Auto 6, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Hades 2, Mario Kart World, and Ghost of Yote. From the get-go. Because I've been looking forward to this for the longest. I want it so bad. That trailer, finally, seeing it last year, blew me away. Getting to play it earlier this spring. I was such a huge fan. And yeah, this one is a big deal for me. So I'm hyped. I'm hyped for this game. Let's see. Let me catch up to chat. I've been talking about Metroid for a while. I might be behind. Okay. Nintendo, what special things will you do for Metroid Prime 4? I hope we get a price 2 and 3 bundle. Man, the likelihood is starting to shrink of Metroid Prime 2 and 3 dropping before Metroid Prime 4. But it's not impossible. Absolutely not. It's still possible. After all, November 6th is just a week away. And we're getting 2 Amiibo that day. the coolest amiibo, in my opinion, of the 3 new Metroid ones is next week. Is that Samus and Viola amiibo pack. That thing looks so cool. I'm gonna have to make some space rearrangements, right? I've got my bad guy shelf down here. I've got my kind of newer amiibo up there, with the exception of Cat Mario and Cat Peach. Those are not exactly new. Hmm. But yeah, I've got to toy around with my placements of some of these. The bad guy shelf is actually largely Samus or Metroid inspired, I should say, with the exception of this guy right here, from The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. The Guardians in the middle. Um, I mean, I could put Samus and Viola here. And there's also space, how I usually stagger them like that, like this, or like those two in the back. But yeah, we'll see. Anyways, like, my point is, with those amiibo coming next week, maybe Nintendo just shadow drops Metroid Prime 2 and 3 on that day. Whoa! Steak 1024 with the big 5 Paul Gale Network gifted memberships. Huge thank you to Steak 1024. Wow. That is awesome to see. Holy cow. Steak 1024. Thank you so much for that awesome contribution. I appreciate it. Who were the lucky 5? We've got Victor Sanchez, Darth Wario 76, Patrick Lucas, Alvaro Kalkikocha, or Kalkikoka, and When Life Gives You Lemons XD. Awesome. Out of nowhere. Thank you, Steak 1024. Thank you, Sketches of Harmony, for getting us on the board at $7. Oh, and last week, well, not related to Nintendo news last week, but last week was such a hype week because also on this channel, for a little while there, we had hit a brand new member total. Then it dropped a little bit, but now it's gone up a little bit, Like the former height was 363. We went down a bit. Then last week at some point we hit 375. Then I think down to like 362. So now with Stake 1024's 5 more gifted memberships, we must be at 367 or something like that. So we're like 33 away from 400. We've never hit 400. So we might do that this month. Actually, hold on. This month? No. This month ends tomorrow. I'm not expecting 33 new members by the end of tomorrow. No. Maybe like in November we'll hit 400. We'll see. But regardless, last week we also had our monster stream where we had the 3 giveaways. Remember? Super cool. What a good time for all things internet gaming related. You can craft multiple items at the same time now, yeah. And the mouse control support and the Dream Islands to have more variety there. Even the upgrade is super cheap. I'm low-key blown away, as contradictory as that is, LOL. I mean, yeah. Is it a $10 upgrade? I haven't looked yet, actually. But I think I hope it's 10. 10 sounds totally fair. What's up, Crazy Scoth? The Nintendo game I'm most excited for is Splatoon Raiders. When do you think it'll release? Splatoon Raiders, from the get-go, felt like they didn't tell us 2025 when it was first shown off, so I'm like, I don't think it's 5. I think it's 2026. And from the get-go, I was like, this feels like a May game. This feels like a March or May game of 2026. So between those two, I think I was leaning towards May before, but no earlier than March. So I'm sticking with my original May 2026 is Splatoon Raiders. We'll see how close I was when it comes out. The GTA short was great. Thank you. We could watch that one too. That one was fun. Where's that one? Well, I've had a few GTA shorts recently. Here, let's do the Vice City one.
Get off the road, moron!
I really ain't got time for this. Don't make me get out of the car.
Learn how to drive, you sucker!
I am so better off walking.
After the day I've had, shut up, sit down, relax. Today in gaming history, October 29th, 2002, Grand Theft Auto Vice City launched for the PlayStation 2 in North America.
That was fun. The short's production has gotten that YouTube seal of quality. Oh yes, it has, Dank Beam Center X. 7 days. Yes, Egomaniac 87. Yo, gonna lurk today. Welcome, welcome. Now I'm seeing even more people showing up. 22 watching. Right on, right on. Sketches of Harmony with a W to stake. I see some good emojis drop in. Sketches with Superman. Dank Meme Center X with the James Bond one. Requiem Amiibo. Wow, that's nuts. Yeah. Not the first third-party Amiibo. We've had them. Ryu, Ken, Terry Bogard, Sonic, Mega Man, Pac-Man. Shovel Knight was actually the first. Not even the first rated M Amiibo, because that would be Bayonetta 2. But yeah, first survival horror Amiibo. Heck yeah. Speaking of Bayonetta,
at least someone knows how to make an entrance around here. Today in gaming.
Does anyone mind if I cut in? Today in gaming history, October 28th, 2022, Bayonetta 3 launched for the Nintendo Switch worldwide.
If you haven't seen the original, maybe this has a little bit less context. But if you saw the Bayonetta 2 short, then this one has a little bit of lore behind it. And there it is in the chat below, the link, that if you haven't already seen it, you don't mind dropping a like button, a like for it, then thank you. I appreciate the extra support. A comment or something like that. A little bit goes a long way, you know? Oh, and since I didn't do it earlier, I guess I'll do this one too. Because I pushed play, but I didn't share it. Here's the GTA Vice City short. So if you haven't seen that one, want to watch it on your own timeline, like or comment, then extra thank you for that. Yeah, these shorts have been so much fun to make. So much fun. For people that jump into Legends ZA, they are making it easier to get the Mega Stones for the Kalos starters. Good to know. So it's entirely dumbfounded to lock stuff to playing the online 4v4 ranked modes. Pro Controller, $5 according to Stealth. $5 for the AC update, $4.99. Very affordable. Wow. Wow, even better. I'm like, 10 would be fine. Oh, 10's fine. 5? Ooh. That's way cool. Way cool. Way cool. I am happy to see Captain Family in the hotel. I'm so excited for the update. Wow. Paul Gale Versetti. Yeah. Oh, that GTA one was so fun. I don't know anymore what's like my favorite. I've had so many different fun pieces of creativity flowing through, just, you know, doing all of them. By the end of this series, you know, there will be far more than 365 pieces of gaming history. That if YouTube does its job, which I know it won't work out like this, but every year on the year date of the video, it will get popped back into people's feeds. But it's probably not going to work out that way. people would have to search for it. And is anyone going to search for it? Is there a way to how to make it a daily thing? I don't know. It would be cool though, because it's really funny. Like, some people watch a short of a gaming history for this day, and they're like, "Did you also know, by the way, that so and so game came out on this day?" I'm like, well, clearly that person didn't see that like 2 minutes earlier, or at the same time, a whole other video dropped of that game that they're talking about. And it's like, that means the shorts aren't going in the best way to people's timelines as they could, because people are interested in it. People like the short, they like the gaming history fact, but they're not getting all, or they don't even know it's a series. They think this dude in this random t-shirt with a bunch of statues in the background just happened to make a short for this one game today of all the games, and like, oh, that's a thing. Just a one-time wonder. Not even a wonder necessarily, but like a one-time drop. And aren't aware that this is a series that happens all the time. Or this guy just randomly picked 38 days until the release of Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. This guy randomly picked 9 days until the release of Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment. No, it's an everyday countdown, right? But it's okay, you know. Some people find it just like that, and some people are glued into like, oh no, every day this is a little something to look forward to. But yeah. Possibly the most photorealistic game amiibo, yeah. Things about to be insane with Age of Imprisonment, Kirby, and Metroid Prime 4 within like 28 days of each other. It's so cool. It's such a good time to be a Nintendo fan. This one made me laugh. I'm starting to think you just like that outfit. Yeah. Paul is a movie star. Oh, thank you. It would be cool. Not gonna lie. It would be cool. As unlikely as it is, as someone out there, right? Some Hollywood agent being like, huh, look at this guy doing this Grand Theft Auto thing here, this Metroid thing here, this Hyrule Warrior things here, Majora's Mask there. It's like, we need him for our movie. That's the little goal. I'm just kidding. I mean, that would be that would be cool, right? Let's get a countdown guy, aka gaming history guy, in our movie to play some little cameo role or something like that. I don't know. It's funny. Funny thought. I'd do it. Gladly. Funny. Vice City story. I am a Haitian American that had no interest in learning Creole until I played Vice City and watched Bad Boys 2. Ah, that's cool, J Biggs. See, games can inspire you to do good out there. Paul is the Nintendo historian king. That's right, Tsukino Ame. Upgrade price subsidized by Lego. Zelda unlocks are cool too. Another funny Vice City story. My other saw me playing Vice City in front of my little brothers a few times. At the time, 12 and 9-year-old. She had a problem with the game until... Until... you must be typing. Okay. Wasn't expecting the Lego collaboration. Yeah, Dank, that's a pretty considerable thing. I need to buy more Animal Crossing Amiibo cards to get ready for the game. I need to redesign my island again for the update. I need to play Happy Home Paradise for the update. So much to do. Debbie Kelly, I'm so excited. Woohoo! Heck yeah, Debbie Kelly. A lot of excitement to come out of this for sure. Wow. I need to redesign my island again for the... What was your all favorite part? Maybe I'll make a poll for this one. What was your favorite part from the Animal Crossing reveal? Let's see. Okay. It's a limited poll because there are only 4 options. But from these 4 options, what was your favorite Animal Crossing announcement? Zelda content, Splatoon content, Lego content, New Dream Islands. We'll see. Paul, could you show the Over the Hill trailer? Doesn't show much gameplay, but it's the makers of Art of Rally, indie devs worthy of spotlighting and likely to come to Switch 2. Sure. Over the Hill trailer. Normally, to do a unique designated trailer, we do a super chat dealio for that, but we'll just hit play. We'll search it up. Over the Hill trailer. I mean, if anything, Sketches of Harmony, you generously dropped 2 earlier, so that is for it. Even if you didn't, like I said, this is just a good morning. We just hop right in. Over the Hill from one day ago.
Unlock more with Disney Plus, Hulu.
I already have Disney Plus. Oh, I didn't see the sketches that you did it, but yeah, no, you got it. I'm reading that now, but like regardless, I was gonna do it anyways. But absolutely. I like the art style and the music. Is there another trailer? This is probably the same one. We'll watch it again. It was cool. I'm gonna read Sketches of Harmony. I'm gonna read the description because I'm interested. It's got a good vibe. Coming 2026. Oh yeah. Okay. So hold on. Oh, hold on. So this looks pretty cool. Thank you, Sketches of Harmony. All right. Hold on. I gotta pause this, because this gives us a little bit of a better look at things. Ah, nice collector's box. Pretty cool. An embroidered patch, winch enamel pin, a poster, good, clean, good, dirty, fun, a window cling, soundtrack, download card, physical game, and let's see. Premium edition still comes with some goodies too, like the soundtrack and a window cling. Physical is going to be on Nintendo Switch 2 and PS5, but the game is coming to Xbox Series, PS5, and Nintendo Switch 2. Explore the world in the golden age of off-roading. Drive iconic vehicles from the 60s to 80s by yourself or with friends through challenging trials and beautiful scenery. Ha! Dang, that's a pretty cool looking trailer. I like it. Explore, navigate, and uncover the vast wilderness in Over the Hill, the newest installation from the creator of Art of Rally. Ramble your way through varied biomes inspired by real-world locations, from valleys to mountains and everything in between. Take a friend or go on a solo tour. Challenge yourself, collaborate with up to 3 friends, or just enjoy the sights, the world is your oyster. Man, wow, that's a nice vibe right there. Huh? Kind of count me in. Looks good. Looks good. Honestly, wait for Rossetti and he'll make it easier to do island maintenance. I'm hyped for Metroid Prime 4. It's my game of the year. Rossetti is the GOAT. Being able to work on island with someone is huge to me. Yeah, geez, like that's... I could go ahead and make like 2 or 3 pulls in total of just that Animal Crossing presentation. It's almost an Animal Crossing Direct. That was 12 minutes long. Excellent. Dude, excellent. There's so many updates to Animal Crossing New Horizons, I don't know when I'll be able to jump back in. That game sucks me in and I forget about real life. Yeah. Dream Islands open up a lot. Yeah. I'm biased because the team works on both. Splatoon. I ran out of space. My mother did not have a problem with Vice City until the part where the Cuban gang against the Haitian gang missions. I thought it was cool to see the Haitians in a video game. Ah, so that's when your mom was like, It's funny. Playable systems in the game. I did request it. Okay, yeah. Oh yeah, I have to do that. I got a notification to buy tickets for the Game Awards. I usually go to Summer Game Fest and the Game Awards, so I'll have to get my tickets today. True. That's going to be fun. Dang, that's coming up in like 6 weeks. 5, 6 weeks. Excuse me. The NS2 Classic being playable does wonder. The hotel and everything, really. My favorite was the hotel and Captain Family. I'm excited for the Dream Islands 2. Thank you. Looks nice. Super vibes. Love the vibes. Yeah. Thank you too. I only saw the one trailer. Yeah. I'm glad we watched it twice though. The hotel always made sense, but Happy Home Paradise quelled that for me at the time. But seeing what more they added is a cool addition. Oh, nice. There is a Switch 2 box. Yeah. Hey there. I don't know the name, but hey. How are you guys, says King Paco Nintendo Lover. We're doing great over here. How are you doing? Lots of cool news today. Main reason I stopped playing ACNH is because it took so much time. Also, it took forever to get new items. The store was usually filled with some other stuff. Cool, huh? I love the Cozy Journey games. Yeah, very cool. Thank you for bringing it to our attention. Age of Imprisonment and Octopath Traveler are my personal game of the years. Wait. Game of the... Yeah, we have Octopath Traveler 0 dropping. Holy smokes. The year just doesn't stop delivering bangers. Ooh. Yeah, I kind of forgot about that for a moment there. The DLC Happy Home Paradise helps with getting more items faster. You can use the Pokey, buy 10 items a day from the catalog when you unlock it. That's good. Okay. Let's look through some of the Resident Evil goodness that was dropped yesterday. We talked about it, but straight up right here. Resident Evil Requiem Amiibo coming summer 2026. That's exciting. I wonder how premium will it be? I feel like this is a special thing happening that even though I'm not looking forward to it being $50, I'm not going to be entirely surprised if it's 50. I'm hoping for 30. I'd be okay with 40. Because it seems like it's going to be a big deal. And the hype behind it, the fact that we're getting this Resident Evil trilogy of 7, 8, 9 package on Nintendo Switch 2, this Pro Controller, this unlock of Requiem's main protagonist in Fortnite, day and date release of Requiem on NS2. All of this stuff is shaping up to being like this amiibo is going to be a big deal. However, with the quite fair price of the trilogy pack and the Pro Controller being, comparable to regular Pro Controller prices and stuff like that, maybe this amiibo is just going to be 40, right? And if it is of the quality and the size and the heft, the detail as like Mario and Luma or Rosalina and Luma from the Super Mario Galaxy amiibo dropping next year, I think that 40 is going to be fine. The only $50 amiibo really actually are the Kirby Air Riders ones, and those are pretty beefy and have detachable parts and a little bit of extra tech to, make them snap in with other ones and have that functionality in the game too. Otherwise, 30 is like the new norm for them. So I'm going to say that this Requiem one of Grace Ashcroft is 40. But I'd be happy if it was 30, Happy with 30, okay if it's 40. If it looks really nice, even though I don't plan on buying every $50 amiibo, because that price justification is a little bit up there, I'd consider a 50, but we'll see. But we got that amiibo. Way cool. We've got a new Pro Controller. Way cool. It's newspaper printy. It's got the Resident Evil logo here, kind of interrupted by the Nintendo Switch 2 logo itself, which some people don't like, some people are okay with, some people do like. I, in general, would have liked if there was some more color. It's a dark game. It's a horror game. So I suppose it's fine for this controller to be this way, but future controllers, if the game's got a colorful vibe, I want more. I want this area colored. I want this area colored. I would like just a full static blue, a full static red, a full static yellow, a full static green. Give me my Nintendo 64 4 color options, Nintendo's primary 4 colors. And as unnecessary as it is, for the artistic value of it, I'd probably buy all 4. Because I would love to have that classic modern look. Classic look of the colors and modern look of, these new Pro Controllers, right? Maybe what they could have done here is make the entire controller like newspaper light gray, and all the print a few shades darker of a darker gray. And that would have been perhaps a more favorable controller overall look, I think. Yeah. Newspaper gray, black or darker gray for all of the print, all of the font. But still cool. Still cool. Then we've got this Resident Evil Generation Pack. That's neat. Yes, they are all game key cards, but you're going to get Resident Evil 7, 8, and 9 all together in one set. At a fair price, too, of $90. I'm curious how much will the digital version cost, but if it's $90, then how do you not get this, I guess, right? Although there is the mindset of, game key card I gotta take out and put in all the time. Still takes up the same amount of data on my system. Digital one, no take out, put in. It's just always on. Then you've got this. Here's Grace Ashcroft. Pre-order now. Receive this bonus costume. Grace Apocalypse. And then, as I'm scrolling down, I'm like, we also got, just yesterday, the drop of the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild vinyl set coming out. Nintendo's teamed up with folks before, like I have the Ocarina of Time vinyl set, for instance, but this is coming from them and having it be Breath of the Wild, 2 different packs. There's a simple set and a much bigger set. like I said here, the 2 LP with 34, the 8 LP with 130, available next June. Yeah, that was also dropped yesterday. And then, of course, 2 days ago, we had the Metroid Prime 1 through 3, a visual retrospective art book. And then, yeah, we get into last week territory where we had that beautiful Age of Imprisonment demo and the Star Wars Outlaws demo. Well, Age of Imprisonment trailer, and then the Outlaws demo. And then Age of Imprisonment showing up in stores, you know? So, lots of good stuff on that end. Luigi's Mansion with a drop. Animal Crossing today. Wow. Way cool, way cool. I'm doing awesome. I'm just waiting for my items to come to my house. Cool. I almost missed it. I am back, y'all. Welcome, Tabby Cat Games. I'm glad you're here. Brian C. says, Nintendo going hard for Resident Evil. Love to see them support third party. Yep. Walmart has some awesome in-store clearance priced games like Star Wars Outlaws for $15, Helldivers for $20, and Forspoken for PS5 for $10. Wait, Star Wars Outlaws $15? You're not talking about Nintendo Switch 2, are you? Kong Donk? If you're talking about Star Wars Outlaws on Nintendo Switch 2 for $15, that's a big new release for dirt cheap. It makes more sense if it's, you know, like a PS5 version or Xbox Series version. But if you're saying that the Nintendo Switch 2 version is for $15, that's a way good deal. Regardless, it's a good deal, right? But Nintendo Switch 2 version is just such a new game, such a new release. Huh. Yeah. I would want RGB LED rings around the thumbsticks. That would be pretty premium. That would be cool, J-Biggs. One of the most underutilized features of the Pro Controller was that little blue light that lit up around the home button. Only happened for like Ring Fit Adventure getting that notification. I remember Nintendo had it on at E3 when I played Luigi's Mansion 3. It was so cool having that blue light on. I wanted it on more often. But yeah, LED lights around and in the analog sticks would be pretty sweet. I'm waiting for a themed controller. Not sure which one will grab me. Maybe for a Monolith soft game, maybe. The KG asks, did you get the Metroid Prime book? No, I did not. I didn't initially pre-order it. I'm considering getting it. I have a lot of old Metroid Prime 1, 2, and 3 promotional material. I have a lot of existing art that was given to me by Nintendo over the years from various E3s, media pamphlets, different art books that, even though I'm sure this still has some new stuff that I don't have and is a nice real set, I didn't pre-order it. I'd consider still, and I'm still considering like, oh, maybe I will get it eventually. So we'll see. I still might. Did you? Did you get it? If so, what do you think so far? I'm so excited for the update. Yes. Breath of the Wild vinyl. Yep. Kong Donk. Okay, so that Star Wars is a PS5 release for $15. That's still really good. Nintendo said in 2021 we were not getting any more updates. Now in 2025 they announced a free update. Heck yeah. Always expect the unexpected with Nintendo, and generally expect that unexpected to be favorable. Expect it to be cool and a pleasant surprise. Because more often than not, it is. Speaking of surprises, let's do another short today.
Yo, I'll join you.
Today in gaming history, October 30th, 2000, Jet Set Radio launched for the Sega Dreamcast in North America.
Yo, I'll join you.
So I'm kind of being the character Yo-Yo from Jet Set Radio. Sorry, Jet Jet Set Radio. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. I'm kind of the character right there. Sort of, he dresses up like that and kind of says "Yo," and then some of his text in the game is like "Yo, yo," I'll help you on like this mission or whatever. And that was fun. And that's one of the fun things about the gaming history shorts is that, yes, I go all out with something like The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask, right? Created a couple of minute long skit, and it was elaborate, and that's a big game, so it kind of makes sense. Something like Grand Theft Auto 5. Yeah, I went all out. Big skit. My wife was involved, right? But then you've got Jet Set Radio on Sega Dreamcast, a smaller console in terms of sales, a smaller franchise in terms of franchises, and a smaller game in terms of individual title releases. Yet I'm like, I've got a fun idea. Bring a little bit more light to it, and have a fun skit. If you want, here's a link for that one. If you haven't already watched it individually, and if you are interested in supporting it with a little bit of a like or something like that, a comment, then thank you. The KG, I did not. I find I read them once and I don't really go back to them. My money was taken for the Prime 4 Amiibos yesterday from Nintendo UK. Ah, nice. Let's see. We've got some Famitsu sales to go over, but before we do, I'm going to get some water to drink. So I'll leave you with this for...
James believes keeping
Okay,
a close
first I
watch
guess
on
watch
his spending
James.
helps him
No,
reason-
you don't need to watch James. You don't need to watch James. Because we don't know what James is going to say.
At Ralph's farm.
Okay, Ralph's Pharmacy. You don't need to see Ralph's Pharmacy either. I mean, it might be valuable for you, but that's okay. Okay, I'm gonna get some water. I'll be right back. Oh, I'll leave you with the new banjo statue. Pretty sweet.
Gale, never fail, dropping knowledge like a hammer, full scale, from video games.
You never know when I come back. How long was that? 2:13? Yeah, seems to be around 2-minute-ish mark to get the water and stuff like that. I like all the shorts, thank you. Chair shorts, yes. Hi, Chair. Are you excited for Animal Crossing update? I am.
Yes, I love Animal Crossing. That stuff is so cool. I can't wait to be sitting all day long and have them play on me.
Wow, well, you're probably right, Chair. Hi, Banjo. Do you like Paul Gale's house? Yeah, I sure do. Yeah, well, you've heard him. Don't sit out on AC. Update, Chair. Definitely. Chair was singing. Nice, nice. Oh, yeah, that's right. This is a Princess Peach cup today with some water. Let's check out the poll. What was your favorite Animal Crossing announcement? Before I close it, 60% of the votes went to Zelda content. Ooh, nice. 30% to Dream Islands, 5 to Splatoon, 5 to Lego. Cool, cool. Well, that's exciting. PGM, do you think that Pikmin 4 will get a Switch 2 fidelity bump along with the update? Yes. I'm going to say yes. Maybe they wanted to monitor Switch 1 engagement and contained the info. Or will we get a Switch 2 edition later? So, at some point, I think we will get a Nintendo Switch 2 bump, right? Will it be like woven in there when this Pikmin 4 update regardless happens, for Switch 1 and Switch 2? And then all of a sudden spring on us like, by the way, on Nintendo Switch 2, experience a free update, da-da-da-da-da. Or a Nintendo Switch 2 edition later that includes everything from before and even more. So I'm a little bit back and forth on that. I think we will get like a fidelity bump of some sorts at some point. I just don't know exactly when. So part of me wants to say, yeah, along with that Switch 1 update, we'll get it. But I wouldn't be entirely surprised if it doesn't and they end up having something later. We'll see. The committee gifted Nate a copy of Age of Imprisonment last night on the podcast. Well, that's cool, Kong Donk. I was on the podcast. I mean, not on it talking, but watching it here and there throughout the evening. I missed that part, but that's cool. That's very nice of them. Good for him. Sketches of Harmony. The collaborative edition is pretty awesome. Yeah. Tsukima Ame. Oh no, I forgot about the Pikmin 4 update. Next month, I need to try that out. Yeah. We're in a good position. Very good position. Before we go over the sales, let me just do a little bit of a checkup right here. I see Tabby Cat Games retweeted that gaming history post. Yeah, that's right. Speaking of gaming history, today, 1 year ago, Nintendo dropped the Nintendo Music app. Already a year. Isn't that wild? A year ago, they dropped that Nintendo Music app on iOS and Android worldwide. Huh. Time flies. Okay. And we'll do one more little look here. That's another thing, true. I was just reminded here, scrolling. As cool as all of this Animal Crossing stuff is, one of the other neat things in it is you get to fill up your room with classic Nintendo consoles and play classic Nintendo games on those consoles on your TV in your room. That's super fun, That's an old school Animal Crossing thing from back on like N64 GameCube Animal Crossing, you get to play classic NES games. I love that. Dang. That's a pretty cool steelbook right there, by the way. Resident Evil Requiem Deluxe Edition plus steelbook. Wow. Cool controller. I'm not getting it. I have the 30th anniversary one. I like that one enough. But it is a cool Kratos controller. Cool, cool, cool. That's probably good enough scrolling for now. And then here we have the Game Awards announcement that I talked about earlier when my watch went off. Okay. I'm half expecting a post on the release to say Switch 2 gets a free boost. They might not want to get people too oriented towards fidelity with everything, lowering its perceived priority. Capcom ties are getting stronger. Monster Hunter World Complete can't be far off, right? That would be a fine one. Monster Hunter World. Come on. PS4, Xbox One game. Rise was so solid on Nintendo Switch. Nintendo Switch 2 is so much more powerful than NS. NS2 could handle Wilds or Rise, you know? Come on. I mean, or World. Oh, Capcom Japan will talk about Monster Hunter Stories 3 tomorrow. Excellent. Yeah, we've got Monster Hunter Stories 3. Yeah, Capcom and Nintendo doing well. I mean, Capcom's always supported Nintendo. You look back at the old school roots of Mega Man and DuckTales on the NES, Street Fighter 2 and Mega Man X on Super Nintendo. Nintendo 64 was not a whole lot, honestly. But we had, Mickey Racing and Resident Evil 2, Mega Man Legends, but back onto GameCube. Okay, you've got Mega Man and Beautiful Joe, Resident Evil Remake, Resident Evil 0, Resident Evil 4, Project Number 3, going into Wii, Tatsunoko versus Capcom, various Resident Evil light gun shooting games, Okami, ports of Resident Evil 4, yet again with more support. Wii U, a little bit, you had addition of 3DS's Resident Evil that got ported over, but yeah, I guess N64 and Wii U didn't have a lot coming out of Capcom, but getting back into Nintendo Switch, dude, right off the top, it wasn't huge support, but Ultra Street Fighter 2, the Final Challengers, it had something. And then, dang, just dropping stuff. Let's throw all of the old Resident Evils on Nintendo Switch. Hey, Nintendo Switch isn't powerful enough to do, native ports of 7 and 8 probably without putting too much of a constraint on the system, but let's make cloud versions available for it. Let's do an original Monster Hunter from the ground up for the system to show what we're capable of, because the system might not be able to handle World. So, Rise. Solid. Now Nintendo Switch 2, Street Fighter 6, right out of the bat. Announcements of, native ports of 7, 8, 9. Would it have been nice to have cartridge options too, even if it was a little bit pricier, or even if it was like, okay, you're going to have to download some of it too, but at least you could have most on your cartridge to not eat up all of your storage space. Yeah, but whatever. Capcom is still supporting it. I would like to see Onimusha come out and the new Okami come out, but we're getting, Monster Hunter Stories. And don't forget, like, yeah, even during the Wii U era, if Capcom didn't support the system a whole lot, they were supporting 3DS still during that time. Even on N64, if it wasn't getting supported that much, we were getting support on Game Boy Advance. Like Game Boy Advance still got Street Fighter Alpha 3, for instance. So Capcom's really been an OG with Nintendo. You know, you go back to like 1987. They've got a long 40-year almost history with Nintendo. And yeah, Capcom is my favorite, by the way, third party out there. Nintendo is my favorite first party company. They've done the best in the video game industry at keeping things tight knit, propelling the advancement of technology in video games, in controls, in consoles, in software, creativity, franchises, consistent releases. They've been doing the most for the longest period of time. I admire and I respect a lot of that. The overall best in one house. And then Capcom is my favorite third party. And not just because of their support, you know, for Nintendo, but just overall what they have done. You look at the variety that Capcom has, and it's quite up there. Yeah. I love it. I love it. Okay. Couple of comments, and then let's get into video game sales. Character customization is going to be in Monster Hunter Stories 3 too. Yay, that's going to be cool. Plus, Capcom were vocal about the PS5 barrier of entry in Japan. PS5 Lite is kind of needed. Yeah. Their engine might need optimizing for wilds on lower power profiles. Figure it out. Figure it out. Sell it on Nintendo Switch 2. Sell it on the system with the install base that is growing fast. All right. Sales time. These are the sales from Famitsu, provided to us by Install Base Forum. For the week of October 20th through October 26th. This is the second week of Pokemon Legends ZA in Japan. There's going to be a drop, as always, but let's see where it's at. Physical only, by the way. In first place, no surprise, Pokemon Legends ZA, with 195,849 copies sold on the Nintendo Switch side, a 78% drop. Pokemon Legends ZA Nintendo Switch 2 edition, with 71,991 copies sold, an 88% drop. Pretty steep, honestly, but both at that number 1 and 2. Mario Kart World for Nintendo Switch 2 in third at 35,176. In fourth, a new entry for the week, Once Upon a Katamari, new entry in the Katamari Damacy series, 17,289. In fifth, another new entry, Ninja Gaiden 4 on PlayStation 5 with 11,973. In sixth, Ghost of Yote on PS5 with 6,984. Seventh, Persona 3 Reload with 6,778 on Nintendo Switch 2, and a new entry for the week. In eighth, hanging on in there, Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 with 6,232 copies sold. In ninth, the PS5 version of Once Upon a Katamari. Once again, a new entry, but the PS5 version did 4,596 copies. Compare that to the Nintendo Switch version that did 17,289. That's a pretty good size difference, you know. You're looking at almost 13,000 more did the Nintendo Switch version sell. Quite a bit. Not quite quadruple, but up there. Battlefield 6 finally in 10th place on PS5, selling 4,215. 4 games were PS5 titles, 3 games were Nintendo Switch 2 titles, 3 games were Nintendo Switch titles overall. You've got a 6-4 split favoring Nintendo over Sony, but a good week in gaming overall. Before we get into hardware, did you play Shinsekai Into the Depths by Capcom? That's the game that is the underwater sea exploration game with scuba diving and... No, I didn't play it. Did you? I know of it. It's on the Nintendo Switch, right? I want to say it's an eShop only title. I haven't played it. Looks pretty cool though. Let me know if you did and what you think if you did play it. Let's move into hardware, by the way. Hardware for the week. Hold on, let me do something here real quick. Metroidvania Underwater. Yeah, I have access via my Bro Switch account, but not played it. That's pretty cool. Yeah, that's a neat thing of like the game sharing between the accounts and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, I like Metroidvanias, and Underwater is fun, but I haven't checked it out. I might. I probably should eventually. These are the hardware sales for last week, with Nintendo Switch 2 in first place at 65,434 units sold. In second, Nintendo Switch with 25,109. Switch 2 is a drop from last week, but that was to be expected with Pokemon being the big game of the week, and with Nintendo once again having to allocate hardware and make sure that there's enough for upcoming releases like Kirby, like Hyrule Warriors, and like the holiday shopping season. In third, PS5 with another drop, 10,503 this time. That's a drop of 2,000 almost from last week's 12,000. Xbox Series in fourth with 991. A big jump over the 188 from the previous week, but once again, doesn't really matter, sadly to say, because the numbers are so tiny in the first place, unfortunately. And PS4 with another 15 units sold compared to the 23 from the week prior. Pretty cool takeaway is Nintendo Switch, once again, 25,109, up over the previous week's 23,713. So Nintendo continues to do well. Nintendo Switch at 1.2 million for the year in Japan alone. Several hundred thousand every few months. You're going to get a couple million every several months worldwide. I'd love to know what they've stockpiled for the holiday. Yeah. Not only are they holding on to some to have enough for the big holiday rush, but I'm sure they are going into overdrive mode with their factories pumping out as many as they can for the holidays, So it's not like a false artificial manipulation of holding on to supply to make people fervor over the demand to make it look like it's always sold out. No, but it is we've got to properly pace ourselves because we've got some big games coming out and we've got some big holiday shopping demand for our first time of being available on the market during our first holiday season for this system. That will only be 5.5 months old, come Christmas time, basically. Pretty wild. Oh, I guess it'll hit 6 months by December 5th. So yeah, but still, a system in its infancy, kind of on the way, in my opinion, to hitting. My old claim was I could see as many as 22.5 million being sold by June 30th, 2026. Now, this was before I even knew the release date. This is an old claim I made, I want to say back to like late 2023, probably fall, like October or so of 2023. I was like, before we even knew that it was called Nintendo Switch 2, I was like, the amount of hype, the amount of ramblings from third parties going in, the feeling from Nintendo that they're onto something huge, the overall growth of the industry, the retention rate that Nintendo has had with Nintendo Switch in the last nearly 8 years. This is going to be like a upwards of 22.5 million in the system's first year. And Nintendo had their estimates, but now other people out there, other folks are like, we think it could be 25 million and stuff. So I remember when I made that original 22.5, a lot were not feeling that prediction, thinking, you're way too high, way too high. Not to say I'm perfect with my numbers, but tune in a little bit. Tune in a little bit. You'll see that, I'm more right than not. And it looks like they are going to top their, 15 million projection and stuff. Wow. We hit our 64 minutes. We're almost about to hit an hour and a half. We'll probably end the stream in 3 minutes. We had a little bit of an extension. Look at this cool image right here. Look how cool that is. I got the two models of the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. I love it. Oh yeah, I have it downloaded. I haven't played it yet. I'm going to try to play a little bit today, but I don't know if I'll get the chance. I mean, I'll probably play a little bit, but I don't know if I'll get a chance to deep dive because I've got shorts that I've got to make, and I've got my pumpkin that I've got to carve. But yeah, Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection dropped. It's one of those games that I was originally planning on picking up physically, and I was okay with waiting like 5 weeks or 6 weeks or so between the digital and the physical release because they're old games. Stuff I've played in the past, just some have been a very long time ago. But what got me was $60 physical, which after tax is going to be like $65.80 or something like that. And $40 digital, but if you pre-ordered on the eShop before midnight last night, it was $35. And if you're a GameStop Pro member, which I am, you could buy 2 gift cards, a $25 gift card and a $10 gift card, and spend not $35 but like $32.50 or something like that. So you're saving, and then you end up paying like basically $33 versus $66 or something like that. And like, it's double the price. It's a similar thing that I ran into with Hades 2. Hades 2, it was either, I think, like 24 or 57. Paying double the price for Hades 2 didn't seem to make sense, even though I am a physical cartridge first kind of gamer. and the fact that it was 8 weeks earlier for a brand new game, and the game only taking up 11 gigs of space, like I went Hades 2 digital. I went Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection digital. It helps that it's only like 12 gigs of storage space. Actually, I made a post. Let's see. What was it? Yeah. Okay, yeah, it was 50 on the eShop, 45 if you pre-ordered it before midnight, 42.75 if you go through GameStop, 65.68 if you get it physical. That's a $22.93 difference. Too big of a price gap to justify going cartridge, in my opinion, you know? If you're looking at 10, and it's a big third-party game that's 70 or 80 digital versus physical, in which it's then actually 70 versus like 87, and it's actually like a $17 difference. But if it's like this big 62 gigabyte cartridge and it's 62 gigs less on your space, it's a full cartridge release, same day and date coming out on both, $17. Yeah, that is a lot more. You know, even if it's only 10, it becomes 17 because of that tax. I guess it might be worth it, right? But for these lower budget releases that don't cost as much, you know, you're paying double in some cases, or 1.5 times in other cases. That's quite a bit. Sketches of Harmony, gotta go grab dinner. Later's all, and thank you, Paul. Thank you, Sketches of Harmony. Thank you for that awesome $2 donation earlier, for dropping that video trailer request. That was cool. Hope you have a good dinner. Enjoy the rest of your night. See you next time. And before we go, I'll read a couple more comments, but Steak1024, I want to thank you one more time for that awesome $5 donation, gifting some memberships to our channel. We might hit 400. Probably not in the month of October, like I said earlier. Too close to the end. But maybe November, maybe possible, or maybe not. But regardless, if you're having fun, that's good. I wish the Switch had light up buttons to play in the dark, one of my complaints. I'm sure you could get a third party one for that, but yeah, I know what you mean. Like, that would be pretty cool feature. Michael J. Hey Paul, what are your thoughts on the Animal Crossing New Horizon update? Oh boy, I've got some thoughts. And also, have you had any issues with your Switch 2? Someone I was just watching was saying there are issues being reported with stick drift and overheat. I talked a lot about the Animal Crossing New Horizons update earlier, but I'll go over some of that now. I think it's fantastic. Apparently it's a $5 update to go Nintendo Switch 2 edition, bumping that resolution up to 4K. I think that's cool. Having that new microphone that you could talk to your island residents through the microphone jack, pretty sweet. Playing with friends online with your Nintendo Switch 2 camera, fun. Boosting that online play from 8 to 12, really cool. The free update for everyone, the Lego collab, super cool. The Animal Crossing Splatoon collab, super cool. The Legend of Zelda collab, super duper cool. The new Dream Islandscapes for 3 new islands, excellent. Making things faster and snappier here, new island to explore, crafting with other friends at the same time, excellent. All of it epic. Terrific. How many quarters did you use to win Street Fighter 2 the first time? Pekka Strill asks. Oh, jeez. I don't know. Oh, because like back in 1991, playing Street Fighter 2 for the first time had to be, had to be. At my local 7-Eleven, or at the arcade slash mini golf slash batting cage course. One of those. At like that arcade that I'm thinking of, which is still around today, or at my local 7-Eleven, because I was finishing. If it's a 7-Eleven, which is where I played it a lot, I was training in my martial arts class, and little 7-year-old Paul would go down and then play Street Fighter 2 at the 7-Eleven. I don't know if that was my very first one, or like I said, if it was the arcade. But I would play it, and you always had people come in to challenge you because it was 2 players right off the bat. So you might get close to beating a guy along your path, and then maybe someone would come in at an opportune time and you would beat them, so your quarter would last longer because you were about to lose against the CPU, but you were able to play a little bit longer because you played someone who's a little bit of a beginner, and then oof, that got you to have another chance against the CPU, and then play the CPU and got to beat them without having to put in another quarter to attempt to beat them the second time, right? But maybe you're having an easy time against the CPU and somebody really good came in and was like, oh dang, they're older than you, being a 7-year-old kid, and they just took your turn, beat you, right? So I don't know. I don't know how many quarters it took for my first time. Yeah, I'm not sure. But I have very fond memories of playing it. And as I got better and better, I lasted longer and longer playing against people that came up against me and started to lose, you know? I have some funny memories. I remember playing various Street Fighter games at the arcade, and here I am, you know, not 7 anymore, probably now like 10, 12, something like that, 13. And I'm playing, and you have someone who's clearly an older teen, probably. Like, I don't know how old they were in my mind, but if I was, 11 through 13, probably, this guy's probably like 16 to 19 with his date. And this guy's playing Street Fighter next to this kid, and I beat him. And he's like, "Oh man!" And I'm like, "Come on, babe, let's go," and stuff like that. I gotta play again. And like me beat him again. Like it felt like such a big deal to be this kid playing Street Fighter, to be at one point really good at the game, to the point where I got really good at Street Fighter, to just beat these older kids, young adults, trying to show off or have a date night with their girlfriend or something like that, and they're losing to this kid. Like, what an accomplishment. That's funny. That's funny. I remember one of the memories in particular was it was Street Fighter the movie, the game. I could see that one playing me. I could just picture that one, and this guy with like a leather jacket, kind of like, typical like out of the movies for 80s, 90s kind of vibe, young adult, late teen kind of era, with the girlfriend playing Street Fighter and getting whooped by this. I don't know what age I was. But yeah, well, I guess you could find out the age if you could look at Street Fighter the movie, the game. Let's find out. Street Fighter the movie, the game. Came out like late 95 or something like that. So yeah, something like 12-year-old Paul. Yeah, that was right. That was cool. Cool memory. Anyways, geez. Is the Animal Crossing New Horizons update only available through a particular amiibo or any of them? Everything is free. Except for collaborative items. Tsukino Ame responding to Joycey J, the collaboration items are for the amiibo. Everything else is free unless you want to switch to the Nintendo Switch 2 edition for the mouse, 4K camera, etc. Yeah. Pekka Strill, strategy. Yeah. You let someone else waste their money to give you a little bit more, of an extended playtime in your session, right? You'll need to have Zelda amiibo to get the Zelda items. Yeah. That was a new leaf as well. Michael J, what are your thoughts on the Mineru haircut or Mineru character that they're bringing to Animal Crossing and New Horizons? And they said you have to have the amiibo, but technically Nintendo has not officially announced the amiibo. I mean, I think all of the Zelda stuff is cool. I think all of it's really neat. And Mineru, that means we've got to get her before January, right? Got to get her eventually. We'll see. Alrighty. Everybody, thank you so much for being here. What a fun stream. We got $7 today. Big thank you again to Sketches of Harmony and Steak 1024. We didn't end up having a giveaway, but had a really good time. A lot of fun stuff to talk about. Pretty hype day, gotta say. And tomorrow's Halloween. Thank you for watching the shorts. I appreciate it. And I appreciate you being here. Maybe I'll see you tomorrow for some more. Hope you all have a nice Halloween. Enjoy your weekend. And yeah, take it easy for now. We'll be back. We'll be back for some more gaming goodness before too long.